behind this sign, your first glimpse of Pleasure Island, USA, sprawls 85 acres of fun, food, thrills, and frills. A multi-million-dollar playground that typifies a revolutionary new look in amusement centers. Each day, thousands of visitors enter the wonderful Never Never Land of Pleasure Island, a world that exists today only in history books.
Pleasure Island was a family amusement park located in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Covering over 80 acres, Pleasure Island featured a plethora of activities like dark rides, water rides, themed restaurants, arcades, and much more. The park was opened for a short amount of time, from 1959 to 1969, which was only 10 years. To this day, people still remember going to the park as kids, enjoying all the rides and food. One ride in specific is thought about most by older adults and people from the Submechanophobia community. The ride in specific was a water ride called Moby Dick Hunt. It featured a series of interactions along the way before you finally encountered the massive white whale. The whale was made up of Monel stainless steel and was about 50 feet long and was operated on railroad tracks. With the closing of Pleasure Island in 1969, the Moby Dick ride went along with it. The property of Pleasure Island was sold and now office buildings stand where the park once was. Artifacts still remain along the lake from the Moby Dick Hunt ride, such as ramps used to lower props into the water and tracks that were used to operate animatronics. With all this information about the park, one thing still remains unknown. What happened to Moby Dick? Many rumors have spread that the whale now resides where it once stood, 8 feet under the lake, broken into 4 pieces. I was intrigued with all the information, so I went ahead and searched for proof that Moby Dick still lays beneath the water. While researching, I came across a website called friendsofpleasureisland.org. Many people have posted on the page talking about their experiences, and here's what they read. So this is the page talking about what happened to Moby Dick. As you can see, there's still a few people talking about this. There's a few posts, I'd say there's about 10, all explaining what happened or what they think happened to the whale. And as you can see, there's a few dates here talking about January 2001, and then here talking about also in 2001. But just to be safe, I went to the developer console and pasted this in, and it says it was last updated in September 8th, 2011. So this isn't very recent, this is about 9 years ago, but stuff on this page still may be relevant, and we may be able to still find where this whale resides. Dan Gerard on April 23rd, 2001 says this: Moby Dick was in the last pond on the left in the front of 590 Edgewater. If you climb up to the roof of 590 Edgewater on a sunny day, you should be able to see Moby Dick. If they won't let you climb to the roof, perhaps Waste Management will let you look from their office, which overlooks the pond. I'm sure the local scuba club may help you too. This next one is from Mort Holloway. Gil Arrington was a park character who also did maintenance on the whaleboat and was from Marblehead. The hut on the water was part of the whaleboat ride too, and Mort and police officer Frank Skillings did the diving for the 3 to 4 porpoises and put in the underwater track. The hut housed all the controls, but it didn't work for too long. Mort says the top of the whale is about 8 feet underwater and 2 cylinders operated that were and about 500 number each and all brass. The water was hydraulically operated. Mort adds that the whale has probably collapsed by now, but was made out of a Monel stainless steel frame and was on railroad tracks and rolled up and down the tracks. So this right here gives us a lot of evidence. It doesn't support us with any pictures, but it does say that the whale has collapsed and is probably about 8 feet underwater. Now when I read this first, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of information. Because this guy, I mean, it seems legit. Like, this is, pretty sure this is the official website of people who, like, not the official website of, like, Pleasure Island, but people on this website do tours of, like, all around the lake and show you what's going on with that. So, this may be, like, a very good discovery that I found, because this has some really good information. Now, other people are saying, like, the lunch replacement crew that manned the shack controlling all the ride switches, they flipped a few switches, or too many or too few, and Moby slid off the track into the water. As far as we know, he could still be there. Now, this guy, he's talking about, this guy is saying that the whale was removed 15 years ago. So that would be about, like, 1975. And this, I think that picture is where your memorabilia section came. There are dolphins that rode on tracks submerged in the water. They're probably still there. I can probably show a video of this right now, but there were dolphins that rode on a track, like, that came out of the water, and that's probably what he's talking about. And he says they're probably still there, so they're probably still under the lake. And this guy is proving the other guy wrong. He's saying, it looks like he's being put in rather than taken out, and he gives evidence there. You can read this if you want. I'm not going to cover it. And then here's a picture. This guy actually says his friend have been diving in Moby Dick's hole in the past 10 years, and they know where the dolphins are. So this guy is saying that he actually has found the dolphins. And then this is actually pretty interesting. This guy says, like, in the mid-70s, he visited, like, where Pleasure Island was and said it looked bombed, which I don't know how true this is, but it's actually quite strange. And this is just a picture of where the whale was. Hey, editing SpringBloxx here. I forgot to mention, when this guy is disproving this guy about the whale being taken out, how he's saying it's being put in, he also includes this thing down here. How his friend told him that he was working for a company near Pleasure Island Properties, and he would go eat lunch there. And he was eating by the pond one day, and he saw a guy in a super scoot come running out of the lake. And when he asked what happened, he said the guy, when he was underwater, he came face to face with a giant eye. Apparently he had run into Moby Dick. He still may be there. So that's actually really cool. I didn't know you could, like, scuba dive in there. I mean, I don't even know if that's allowed, because this was, like, that would be, like, the 1980s. But yeah, I'll leave a link to this in the description, so if you want to read it, you can go ahead and do that. And yeah, back to the video. And then this guy is just saying how he remembers everything about this, and, like, he loves to hear about this. But yeah. So, is the Moby Dick whale still there? We don't know. But this website gives us a lot of information, and looks like this is pointing to yes, that the whale still is down there, or has been down there in the lake at one point. So, am I just gonna leave it off here? No, I'm actually not. The place where Pleasure Island once stood, I'm actually live really close to it, which is in 590 Edgewater, Wakefield, Massachusetts. So, on Sunday, look out for a video, because I will be going to that location, and I will be trying to look for Moby Dick. So stay tuned for that. If you want me to do more videos like this, researching things like this, because I actually had a really fun time filming this. It's really fun to learn about this. Leave a like and subscribe if you want me to do more like this. But anyway, stay tuned for that video, and I'll see you guys, well, I guess in that video. Goodbye. Hey, looks like you've made it to the end. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked it, commented, and maybe even subscribed, because I put a lot of effort into this video, and it was really fun making this. So, see you later.